Hello there, and welcome to another talk through from me, the history tutor, and this time looking at the Cold War topic, superpower relations for the Edexcel iGCSE exam board. In this video, we're going to revise all about the Prague Spring. What was it? Why did it happen? What was its impact? We're going to make sure we have some really good examples and knowledge by the end of this video, and then do my playlist and maybe practice an exam question. I'll talk you through how to be successful with those as well. Right, let's go and revise. What were the causes of the Prague Spring, first of all? So, Czechoslovakia in the 1960s was ruled by a strict communist called Novotny. But by 1965, Edexcel had announced his new economic model. This suggested bringing back private trade, giving workers more rights, giving more freedom to the people, and this became quite popular. Particularly, this was popular amongst the Czechs. The Sikhs' views grew in popularity, and a fear of revolt led the Soviet government to replace the Czech leader Novotny with a man called Alexander Dubček. This took place in January 1968. However, to Moscow's surprise, Dubček began reforming things in Czechoslovakia, introducing some of the ideas of Sikhs. He called this socialism with a human face. Dubček ended censorship, allowed large groups of people to meet, removed state controls on the economy, allowed private business and trade to take place. People could even travel to Western Europe. Crucially, though, he stayed in the Warsaw Pact. He did not break the alliance like the Hungarians did in the 1950s. So Brezhnev could not roll in the tanks to crush him. He was still part of the Eastern Bloc. Leaders in East Germany and Poland and Hungary, though, became very concerned by Dubček's reforms. They seemed to undermine their regimes. In Poland, there were student protests demanding a more Dubček-style government. However, the Soviet leader Brezhnev still did nothing. As long as Czechoslovakia remained communist and loyal, there was little he could do. He did not want to look like a brutal dictator to the world. However, tension started to develop as the events of the Prague Spring started to emerge. To threaten the Czechs, Russia and the Eastern Bloc countries led a military exercise on the Czech border, just to make sure that the Czechs are aware that they're not very happy. Then in July 1968, the Warsaw Pact met, but without the Czechs. And they wrote the Warsaw Letter to Dubček, demanding he reverse his policies. But by the 20th of August, Dubček had not changed anything. So Brezhnev ordered Soviet forces to invade Czechoslovakia. Prague was quickly seized and Dubček arrested. Czech radio broadcast stories about the invasion to the world, talking about the crushing of their freedom. Hundreds of protesters were killed, hundreds more injured. However, there was no official resistance from the Czech government. Some resisted by placing flowers in the barrels of Soviet tanks, and Jan Palachek set fire to himself in protest. So the world saw a peaceful response by the Czechs. This was probably a big embarrassment to the Russians. So what was the impact of the Prague Spring then? The communist response, first of all. So communists in other countries like Yugoslavia and China were angered by the actions of the USSR. They felt it had betrayed communist values to crush another communist regime, and relations with China started to suffer even more. Red Army soldiers were unhappy. They had been told that Czech people wanted the Red Army to remove Dubček. This was a lie. Many soldiers felt tricked by their government. The murders of innocent protesters were the beginning of the end for communism. Dubček's ideas later inspired Gorbachev's reforms in the 1980s. Now thinking about Western European communist parties, they felt that this event in the Prague Spring had destroyed the idea of a modern communist regime that had more socialist freedom. And significantly in Russia, protests started to develop. There was a small protest on Red Square in Moscow. So even in Russia, people had shown their unhappiness, much to the risk they faced for doing that. About Western responses, well, United Nations led a criticism of the USSR's actions in Prague, but the Russians used their veto to stop the UN resolution. US President Johnson cancelled a meeting with Brezhnev. However, the détente and improved relations post-Cuban Missile Crisis meant the leaders were soon meeting again. The Americans, though, were generally quite distracted in 1968 by the Vietnam War, so there wasn't much official opposition. This was a time of crisis in the Vietnam War with things like the Tet Offensive. Also, the USA still accepted that behind the Iron Curtain was the Soviet sphere of influence, and they did nothing really to interfere. Finally, we got the big impact of the Brezhnev Doctrine. So in November 1968, the Soviet leader Brezhnev, who was the leader after Khrushchev, announced the Brezhnev Doctrine. The doctrine made it clear that the USSR would use force to maintain countries as communists in Europe and across the world. Therefore seemed to be the opposite to the Truman Doctrine. This meant the USA and the USSR had opposing doctrines. However, the USA chose to saw this as a very defensive doctrine, and they continued with their détente. The Brezhnev Doctrine upset China even more, so more reasons why we get this Sino-Soviet split America's going to take advantage of. Mao's China was leading a cultural revolution, and they felt that the Russian Brezhnev doctrine was a threat to their own independent version of communism. And then further divisions were created between Russia and China by President Nixon opening his diplomatic relations with China, of course. The famous shuttle diplomacy and the improved relations in the early 1970s, and the trade links begin. And this, though, means the Prague Spring and the Brezhnev doctrine and the break with China does help to cause more détente. Okay, well, I hope you found it useful and you've revised all your knowledge. And if you are finding this useful, then do subscribe to my playlist and have a look for more and more help in there, and maybe find out more about my revision guide. Bye-bye for now.